Wow, checkmate, folks, checkmate. This is a big, big, big deal. The world is reeling back in panic. They don't know what to do. They don't know how they're going to respond. It's the Trump effect. Everyone's kind of having to go along with if you look at the whales in the ocean, all the fish just kind of have to go along with it. The Trump effect, the Trump seismic checkmate that we just witnessed and we're feeling today, of course the markets are going to drop. Everything's falling out. Massive panic on Wall Street. It's a bloodbath on Wall Street. That's to be expected. This is going to take 6 months to a year and a half, 2 years, could be. I don't think that long. But American jobs are going to come back to America. We are going to be in a competitive market. We are the biggest economy. Folks, this is it. This is how we come back. And I'm very proud of Donald Trump for doing this. Like he posted, the operation is over. Now we're in the healing stages. He had to use a defibrillator to bring back America. Pop-up! Pop-up! So that's where we're at. And a lot of liberals are complaining, oh, look at the markets. Look what's happening. Of course that's going to happen. This was a massive blow to the deep state. And will this lead? Will this lead to the Black Swan event? Will this lead to, I don't know, more lawfare, more war? Folks, there's a lot coming. Believe me, it's just beginning. I've been on the phone with Juanito. I got the ghost coming on tomorrow. I was on with 𝗧𝗵𝗶𝗃, and I don't know if you all watched the YouTube video, but it was an epic video. Folks, I am not broadcasting on Rumble or X anymore, not until we get a new software update. So I'm only broadcasting on YouTube. That's it. Right now it's just YouTube. I'm taking your calls today. Today's question, or I'd like to know your opinion. And if you want to kick me in the nuts, I'll put on my cup. That's totally fine with me. Let me have it. So I'm going to say that I think these movements, like Me Too and all this, are becoming more and more weaponized. They're a DS weaponization, and I'm going to say they're being used to take out powerful men. If a woman comes forward with allegations and accusations from 20 years ago, you better have the receipts. She's in a lot of trauma, David. You need to be a little more sensitive, David. No. If you're gonna have the receipts, if you're gonna come forward, you better have the receipts. That's what I'm saying. And if not, you gotta you gotta suffer the ramifications. In other words, maybe the woman should go to jail for those. If you're willing to come out and just say something and ruin a man's life, which I'm not saying Russell Brand is guilty or innocent. I don't know. But this is from 1999 and 2005, and it looks like just what happened to Trump and RFK and all these powerful men. It's a weaponization, in my opinion. I want to know your thoughts. I want to know what you think. Call in today. A pissed off liberal, a woman that disagrees with me. Come on. Come forward. Let me know what you think. Let Nino, let Sancho. It depends who you're going to be talking to. You could be talking to Nino or Sancho. If you're talking to Sancho, you're going to have problems. And I might answer the phone as Sancho. I don't know how I feel today. Venmo, 𝗑-Rod1977, 𝗑-Rod1977. When the lights go out, my book. When the lights go out, leave an honest review. I wrote that in 1 month on my iPhone with my thumb. The Mexican mix. See, the Mexican mix. There you go. That's my mom's book. Took him to dinner last night. They're both in wheelchairs now. They're just... I'm trying to get through this. I don't sleep at night. I get like 4 hours of sleep. I'm trying to think, is that the red light therapy that I'm doing? Because I sit under that red light therapy for about 20 to 30 minutes. I'm getting a lot more charged during the day. Or is it adrenaline? I'm just waiting for the shoe to drop. I can't figure it out just yet. Folks, Chuck defense. Let's talk about Chuck Norris just for a quick second here. Have you ever wondered what happened to the legendary Chuck Norris? I recently saw a video he made, and I was shocked, folks. He's in his 80s and still kicking butt and working out and staying active. What's even more shocking is he's stronger, can work out longer, and even has plenty of energy left over his grandkids. He did this just by making one change. He says he feels like he's still in his 50s. His wife even started doing this one thing too, and she's never felt better. She says she feels 10 years younger. Her body looks leaner, and she has energy all day long. Chuck made a special video that explains everything. Make sure you watch it by going to chuckdefense.com/Nino or by clicking on the link below this video. It will change the way you think about your health. Once again, that's chuckdefense.com/Nino. Wow! Click on the video link below to watch it now. You won't believe how simple it is. Just a reminder, folks, the legendary Chuck Norris is a whopping 84 years old. Damn! And yet has more energy than me. He has discovered he could create this dramatic change to his health simply focusing on 3 things that sabotage our body as we age. Watch his method now by clicking on chuckdefense.com/Nino. Wow! And I'm going to do the ghetto timer. We're going to take, at midpoint of this video, we're going to take Super Chats. Anybody who wants to ask yours truly a question on Super Chat, you're too shy to get on camera maybe. I don't know. But at the end of this broadcast, towards the end, we're going to take call-ins. So Alex will put up the link for people to call in. Right, Alex?
Yep, we'll get the link up there, folks. Nice to see you, Nino. Nice to see everybody.
Yeah, and, the man behind the curtain.
The man bun behind the curtain.
The man bun behind the curtain is here. All right. All right, folks, Spotify. Spotify is Nino's Corner. Telegram, Nino's Corner. Getter, Nino's Corner. Rumble, Nino's Corner. True Social, David Rodriguez, Boxer. X is Nino Boxer. Patriot Wear, bing, right there, Patriot Wear. We do Patriot Wear Wednesdays, where it's 50% off. You go to Patriot Wear, patriotwear.com, and get your whatever you order, you get 50% off. Also, folks, Nino'sCorner.tv is fire. Absolute fire. I got 𝗬𝗏 up there right now. 𝗬𝗏 is going to be the general, and the general sent this month, I think April 22nd, 5 p.m. 𝗬𝗏 is the general. So you might want to think about what you want to ask him, jump on, and let those questions fly. Also, Gene Decode is up there. SG Anon is up there. Gene Decode's video is pretty crazy. Talking about the underground weapon that hit Thailand. Did it? I leave it for you to figure out yourself. He's very convincing. He's highly intelligent, and I don't know what to do about it. I just kind of kick back and let him go at his own speed. Gene Decode is an amazing guest, and whether you believe it or not, it's still very interesting. I also have John King coming up, a trafficked survivor. Now, this guy's a rugby player, Australian, real manly type of guy. And guess what he's talking about, folks? The other islands outside of Epstein Island. And he's talking about what was on Anthony Weiner's laptop. Yeah, that's going up on Nino'sCorner.tv. Now, this one is too hot for really any platform, and I'm going to be putting it up on Nino'sCorner.tv. So we'll see how it goes from there. And without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, you might want to turn it down or turn it up. Am I slurring? I feel like I'm slurring. I bit my lip. I have a big, canker sore in my mouth. It hurts. Oh, all right, folks, here we go. Coming at you live from the apocalypse, folks. Boom! Yeah, the tariffs are here. All right, now we're moving, baby. The operation is over. But now my glasses fog up. EU declares war on Elon Musk. EU right now, the French are landing, the British are landing in Ukraine right now. The British and the French are landing in the Ukraine right now. So, what's happening? Well, they're going to go ahead with war. They're going to go ahead and go ahead. They're going to go ahead with war. So that's what's happening. They're landing and they're right. So Russia has their hands full. Looks like they're going to have to go to war whether they like it or not. But will Trump pull us out of NATO? That looks like what's happening. So, folks, they need this war so badly that they're going to go ahead and go for it. They're going all in. French and British arrive. We'll be talking to 𝗬𝗏 more about this today. And as that happens, lawfare is coming. Lawfare at its best. I've said this thousands of times. I've said lawfare. Here it comes, and it's here. Now we have lawfare against Elon Musk. Elon Musk, yeah, what kind of lawfare? Well, the EU is suing him for $1 billion. $1 $1 billion for promoting misinformation. Oh my gosh, he's just saying things that aren't true because he's allowing people to talk. So if they're not going after Trump, they're going after RFK, they're going after Elon Musk, and I think even Russell Brand. I think even Russell Brand in this instance. Sorry, I'm going to say it. Let me know your thoughts at the end of this program. I know there's going to be some charged and triggered people out there, but I'm just saying, I think all these movements are becoming weaponized. I think women are taking down very powerful men. I think because they feel, some of these women, you got to think, they feel very regretful. They're very, I should have never slept with him. He never called me again. Sancho never called me again. And he gave me his kids that he does not even talk to. So, remember, Trump didn't do this. He's merely fixing the problem that was created by corrupt presidents and Congress before him. That's what's going on. It's the corruption before him. Trump posts, the operation is over. The patient is healing nicely. Reporter asks Trump, the markets today are way down because of the tariffs. So how's it going? Trying to be a smartass to Trump. Trump says, I think it's going very well. It was an operation like when a patient gets operated on, and it's a big thing. I said, this would exactly be the way it is, he says. So what happens from here, folks? Well, Wall Street is feeling the turbulence. It's bloodbath on Wall Street, and other countries are deciding if they'll play ball or not, if they're going to play ball or not. This is a huge hit to the global economy, massive, like a nuclear bomb going off. This, to me, is probably, I'm going to say not as big, but right up there with what happened in 2020, if you want to know the truth, when everything shut down. The only difference is everything's coming back to America, and that's a good thing. So, this will be a short-term impact. Gold and silver, folks, if you're not getting it, I don't know what you're doing. I know a lot of you like to play in crypto, but your safest bet will be gold and silver. So I hope you guys are at least, Noble Gold is the big one I use. So I hope you're at least doing that. This is Trump's checkmate. This will bring manufacturing companies and jobs back to the United States. Like I said, the first 6 months to a year may get bumpy, but we are entering a golden age in America. This is going to be huge. Now, this is when it's dangerous, though. The retaliation, the maybe assassination attempts, lawfare. And by the way, as Juan would like to say, by the way, Nino, I have heard through the grapevine that some of these judges that are going against Trump, and they may get a nice little notice. Hey, you sure you want to do this? That could be aiding and abetting terrorism. Are you sure you want to do this? And they might, I don't know, maybe get sat the fuck down and talked to for a little bit. I don't know. I don't know. I'm just throwing that out there. Canada will retaliate with reciprocal tariffs. Who is controlling Canada? Well, the Brits, the British. Oh, mate, the British. Was that a British accent? Hello, mate. Hey, I think that's British. Or is that? Yeah, I think that's British. Hey, mate. Do they say mate in Britain? I don't know. We will slaughter them, Juanito says. They will become the 51st state. So this is pushing them into the 51st state. And from Juan's point of view, this is going to happen. It's going to absolutely happen. So could Canada become the 51st state? I think what's going to happen is they're going to start breaking away. What do they call provinces? Or they're going to go for statehood in America. I think Alberta is already trying to do so. So France and Britain are now already arriving in the Ukraine. They're going full on for war, folks. And guess who wasn't there? Guess who would be there if Kamala was president? Yeah, we would be there. Our kids, your sons, your daughters, and your grandkids would be there. They'd be sending them off to war right now. Believe me, I'm 100% correct on that. So, Trump is expected. Now, I'm just going to say this because it's not come out yet, but Trump has expected to pull out. Sancho does not like to pull out, by the way. That's why he has so many kids. But Trump is getting ready to pull out of NATO, is what I'm hearing through the back channels. Sanso says, don't ever pull out. Don't you dare do it. Oh, we're talking about war? Okay, you pull out of war. Okay, I get it. All right, so the European Union is preparing to fine Elon Musk $1 billion for disinformation. This is exactly what Mike Benz said would happen. So I got this off a post. I forgot. Damn it. I usually credit the people I get the post from. But Mike Benz said the organizations who get money from USAID to push censorship would now pressurize the EU to force censorship. So the EU now is going to go all in and force censorship. Man, did we miss this bullet, huh, folks? The same way Trump missed that bullet, we missed this one. Mark my words, the USA Truman Show, these censors in exile, these regime changers in exile right now are going to cling onto every international ally. They will be pressurizing the United Nations. They'll be pressurizing multilateral organizations like NATO and the EU, and even some of these economic development pacts to use the critical components they have there and sometimes dominate spot they have to weaponize those assets. And now they're coming after Elon Musk. So what's going to happen? EU prepares to hit Elon Musk with potential $1 billion fine for breaking disinformation laws. Are you kidding me? Do you see what we're up against, folks? Do you see what we barely missed right there? We barely missed that one. Barely missed that one. America's going to be like the oasis. The whole world's going to succumb to globalism. But we can't get America. Why can't we get America? God bless Trump, man. God bless Trump. That guy gets shot. Shot? Really? His ear gets hit, almost dies, then jumps up and starts pumping his fist, saying, fight, fight, fight. Have you ever seen anything more hardcore than that? Because I haven't. Ever. Except that one time Sancho took a fly swatter over to the cartels and beat the shit out of all of them. That was pretty hardcore. Dow nosedives 1,600 points. S&P 500 and NASDAQ drops the most since 2020 after Trump's tariff onslaught. So stocks plummeted Thursday, sending the S&P 500 back to correction territory for its biggest one-day loss since 2020. See, like I said, 2020. There you go. After President Donald Trump unveiled sweeping tariffs, raising the risk of a global trade war that plunges the economy into a recession. The broad market index dropped 4.84% and settled at 5,396.52, posting its worst day since June of 2020. So they're all the syndicates, all the news articles are going to come after Trump, say it's his fault. Oh my gosh, I can't believe it. It's Trump. It's Trump. See, pointing a finger, knowing in the background, knowing damn well it's game on. And what do you do in this situation? What's going to be the deep state move? I'd like to see somebody put it in the chat. Obviously, we know there's going to be lawfare. We know there's going to be a lot of big problems, but could war kick off? Looks like it's going to happen. Looks like the French and British are going to Ukraine right now. Landing there right now. So when you deliver this type of massive hit to the globalists, folks, you better believe they're going to respond. I keep going back to it, but I have to. Juanito has said this many times on my program. We're going to have a foothold in the United States. We're going to pull it back. We're going to save the United States and fight from here. We're going to be the oasis the whole world envies. Trump posts the operation is over. Trump announces tariffs, the highest import taxes since the 1800s. President Trump announced a baseline 10% tariff on U.S. imports with sleeper reciprocal taxes on goods from Europe, Japan, China, and more than 50 other nations. Why it matters? Trump's announcement ends the free trade era that has defined global commerce for decades. Listen to that for a second. Defined global commerce for decades. Do you all realize how huge this is? How big this really is? We are now dictating we are the ones making them dance to our rhythm now. We're dictating the dance. We're the leader in the dance. You know, it's like boxing. You want to dictate the pace, right? Whenever you watch a Mayweather fight, Mayweather, even though he's doing defense, he's always in the middle of the ring. He's always dictating the pace, the pace of the fight. This is the same thing. You're dictating the pace of the world. We're the whale that has shifted, and the rest of the world has to come with us now. This is absolutely amazing. But there's going to be pushback, blowback. Oof, a lot of things are coming from what I'm hearing. And that's why you got to have gold and silver. I'm not even promoting Noble Gold right now. I'll be promoting them probably the next broadcast. But Noble Gold's where you got to go for this. What they're saying, this is one of the most important days, in my opinion, in American history, Trump said in remarks delivered at Liberation Day event in the Rose Garden. We will be supercharging our domestic industrial base. We will pry open foreign markets and break down foreign trade barriers, Trump added. Stocks were higher as Trump spoke. The levies were not as severe as the 20% global tariff some reports had suggested he was considering. Some of these countries are charging us 50 to 90%, and we're only charging them 20%. Are you kidding me? I think he's being pretty damn conservative, if you ask me. Senior White House officials say any negotiations to bring down reciprocal tariffs could be a long process. The trade actions unveiled on Wednesday come on top of 25% tariffs on foreign-made vehicles and auto parts announced last week that will take effect at midnight. Steel and aluminum imports face similar tariff rates, with taxes threatened on lumber and pharmaceuticals. The 25% tariffs applied on Canadian and Mexican imports that don't comply with the USMCA trade agreement will go into effect until the nations impose tighter border controls, senior officials said. When those tariffs are removed, the North American countries will be subject to the baseline tariffs, folks. Remember, folks, call-ins at the end of this show. Stick around. We're going to take super chats in the middle of the show, so get your super chats in. I only see one up there. That's what you guys think about me, really? That's it? That's all you think about me? If you have a question in the super chat, put it up there, and call-ins at the end of the show. And I'm going to say the call-in subject is this. I think it's a weaponized movement. I think they're taking out powerful men. And I think the women, if they can't provide the receipts, need to be punished just as harsh as the men would be for ruining the men's lives. Okay? There you go. Debate me on that one. Trump stokes trade war as world reels from tariff shock. Trump officials defend 10% base tariff on import stock markets sink as recession fears mount. China, EU, and now they vow countermeasures. So now EU and China vow countermeasures. So President Donald Trump's sweeping tariffs on U.S. imports sparked threats of retaliation on Thursday as companies and governments rushed to count the costs from the escalating trade war that threatens to shake up global alliances. The penalties announced on Wednesday unleashed turbulence across the world markets and drew condemnation from other leaders facing the end of an era of trade liberation that has shaped the global order for decades. Now, listen to that carefully. Global order. That's done. That is done. Trump said he would impose a 10% baseline tariff on all imports into the United States and higher targeted duties on some of the country's biggest trading partners, hammering goods from Italian coffee and Japanese whiskey to sportswear made in Asia. Sportswear made in Asia. A lot of kung fu stuff there. Sportswear, I guess what do they make? Nike, they make it all there. The sweatshops are based out of there. Yeah. And I would temporarily lay off U.S. workers and close plants in Canada and Mexico. So they're going to lay off U.S. workers in Canada and Mexico, but guess where they're coming? Guess where they're going to go? Right to the back to the United States, folks. We're finally going to get competitive in our own market. China vowed retaliation for Trump's 54% tariffs on imports from the world's number 2 economy. Remember, folks, they're using our money. They're using our money to strengthen their military. The deep state uses our money against us. Now our money is coming back into the United States. For what? To benefit Americans. Yeah, it's going to be a little bumpy for a little while. It's going to be a little tough for a little while, but hang on, folks. This is for the betterment of the country. Have some patience. Bullying practice. China retaliates against Trump with 34% tariffs on U.S. goods. Wow. Look at that. The government will also impose a tariff on non-Canadian content of any 𝗬𝗍 compliant vehicles from the U.S., adding that Mexico won't be affected. So unlike the U.S. tariffs will not affect auto parts because we know the benefits of our integrated production system, and they will also not affect vehicle content from Mexico, who has respected the 𝗬𝗍 agreement, Carney explained. So Canada is getting ready to, so they're retaliating. Canada retaliates against Trump's tariffs, matching 25% on U.S.-made vehicles. So Canada's going to trade. They're going into a tariff war with America. So we are essentially in an economic war with Canada right now. Not a good move for them. They're going to get slaughtered. And 𝗬𝗏 is going to go more into this on my episode today, later on today, as we discuss what it means for Canada to throw their hat in the ring against the United States. And I'm telling you, folks, it's not a good move. They know it's over. They're donezo. That's why Trump says, become the 51st state, because you're going to go through a lot of pain right now, a lot of heartache, a lot of turmoil. It's better you just join us. Canada will match U.S. auto tariffs. There you go, folks. There it is right there. So here we go. Ding, ding, ding. Let's go. So White House spins as Russia's omitted from tariffs list. I have a list. I just spoke with a list. Tariff list. The best, man. The White House pushed back on critics who have pointed out President Donald Trump's conspicuously missed Russia from sweeping new round of global tariffs. Could you imagine if I read the news on like a real news station? What the fuck? I'd get fired in a heartbeat. Oh, boy. He can't even read. White House Press Secretary Karoline Leavitt told Axios the omission was by design, explaining that existing sanctions against Moscow already preclude any meaningful trade. But that explanation raised more questions than it answered after all, as Media's Sarah Rumpf pointed out the U.S. still trades more with Russia than it does with some of the micro-states and territories that did make the list. In this piece, Axios pointed to the Tokelau population of 1,500 and Arctic outpost of Svalbard population in 2,500. Leavitt defended the move by pointing out that countries like Cuba, Belarus, and North Korea were also skipped due to already sky-high restrictions. Russia could still face additional strong sanctions, she added, a nod to Trump's recent frustrations with the country's president, Vladimir Putin. Oh! All right, so Russia's getting they're kind of omitted from this, I guess. I've heard a lot of stuff in the back channels, folks, like they're going to be doing their part when the arrests happen. Yeah, that's what I'm hearing. Folks, this is real. Behind the scenes, you guys don't even know the shit that I'm hearing that I don't come out and talk about. Like, I can't even believe it, but, well, Dave, you got to keep a lid on it for now. U.S. tech retail stocks lead rout after Trump's tariff blow. Mega cap U.S. tech companies, including Apple and retail giants Walmart and Nike, led a global market meltdown as President Donald Trump's sweeping new tariffs heightened fears of a spike in costs across a wide range of industries. The tariffs, which threaten to destabilize the world trade order, like that word right there, folks, the world trade order, huh? Like that? Yeah. The world trade order and unsettled businesses mark a sharp reversal from just a few months ago when hopes of business-friendly policies under the Trump administration pushed U.S. stocks to record highs. Not to record highs, to record highs. You guys all admit it. Admit it. You love the way I read the news. You know why? Because I don't give a fuck. Because I read it the way it deserves to be read, and I think you guys are sick of these polished anchors up there giving you a bunch of horse shit. You know, that's what I think it is. I think you guys admire the fact that I'm willing to bring it to you the way I do, and I don't polish anything. You can't polish a turd. That's the way I see it. All right. So how Trump's new tariffs will make farming and food more expensive? Well, it looks like we'll just have to eat the fucking cows from here. Oh, boy. Americans love foreign products, but it is our indulgence in Canadian whiskey, Mexican avocados, and Brazilian coffee a bad thing? If you ask President Donald Trump, the answer is unequivocally yes. On Wednesday, the president announced a baseline 10% tariff on products from 180 nations, including higher rates for certain countries the president considers bad actions. Bad actors. These duties will negatively affect the agricultural sector, which relies heavily on trade, despite exporting over 175 billion worth of agricultural products. The third highest level on record. Imports outpaced exports in 2024. Wow. Breaking, Donald Trump imposed 17%. How do you like that number? 17% tariff on Israel. Israel. Even after Israel eliminated all tariffs on U.S. goods just a day earlier. Like that number, folks? 17, baby. Oh, yeah. Lots of meaning in that one. Do not put it in the comments. Remember, folks, stick with the program. We're going to be talking about what should happen to the women that press these charges that are baseless, that have no that can't hold up, they can't provide the receipts. Should the women go to jail? Should they be punished? I'm saying this movement is getting very weaponized. It's a weaponized movement, and they're using it to take out powerful men. Powerful men. Oh, my God, he didn't call me Saturday night, Susan. I gave him everything he wanted. I'm just saying. That's what I'm just saying. That's what I think's happening here, a lot of it. Ooh, he became famous? How dare him? He was a loser when I slept with him. I'm going to get some money. He pushed himself on me. I was drunk that night, Susan. Brittany, did you hear what I just said? Ford just announced they're offering employee pricing of their cars, all Americans, for 2 months after President Trump's Liberation Day speech. So Ford just announced they're offering employees pricing on their cars. Cool. That's pretty nice. Ford. Very cool. U.S. Treasury Secretary warns world not to retaliate to Trump's tariffs. Wall Street stocks drop like a stone, wiping trillions off the value of a 401ks in minutes. U.S. stocks plunged in after-hours trading after President Donald Trump announced broad tariffs starting at 10% with much higher rates for certain countries. Within minutes of Trump's announcement, future tracking America's flagship S&P 500 fell 2%, while the NASDAQ dropped over 3%. The kind of fall is not seen since the sharp sell-off followed Trump's fiery remarks in which he accused foreign nations of ripping off the United States and vowing to impose tariffs on imports across the globe. The tariffs were higher than expected, people said. Wall Street fears this move will stifle economic growth, drive up inflation, and further rattle global stock markets when trading resumes in Asia and Europe on Thursday. Most Americans' retirement savings, including 401ks, are tied to stock market performance. This is why you need gold and silver, folks. You need gold and silver. If you're not listening to anything else I'm saying in this program, get gold and silver. Do yourself a favor and put it in a safe. Put it in a safe. It's not too late. Do it now. Do it now. Trust me when I tell you this. I've talked to way too many people that are making me do it. You got to get your gold and silver. No better place to do it than noblegoldinvestments.com. FBI flooded with record number of new agent applications in 𝗏𝗏 𝗀𝗃𝗍's first month leading bureau. Fox News reports. 𝗏𝗏 𝗀𝗃. I'm going to reach out to him, but I think he might be like, damn, David has like no filter and I don't know what he's going to fucking ask me. You know what I mean? I kind of feel like 𝗏𝗏 𝗀𝗃𝗍. I haven't reached out to him since he's been FBI director. I'm going to reach out to him, but yeah, I think I'm going to reach out to him pretty soon. I'm going to reach out to him. I'm going to text him. He said, I still owe him that dinner. I bet him that dinner, and I still owe him a dinner. So I got to get him a dinner in Vegas maybe, but he's a very busy guy. All right, folks, it's mid-roll time. Get your super chats in. I only see one. We've partnered with Dr. Gundry to share this information with you. Would you believe me if I told you that inside your pantry right now is one of the healthiest foods on the planet? Yep, it's true, and it's not some weird, trendy superfood. Spoiler alert, it's olive oil. You're probably used to cooking with it, but there are other countless ways to use olive oil to help yourself look and feel younger, folks. For example, olive oil is a natural way to help you achieve more youthful appearance. Besides helping you look younger on the outside, it's a fantastic tool for your insides as well. According to Dr. Stephen Gundry, a famous cardiac surgeon, nutrition expert, and health advocate, you should get as much high-quality olive oil into your daily routine as possible, whether it's taking a shot of it daily or keeping a bottle of it in your bathroom medicine cabinet. What kind of olive oil is best for your health? Well, you can try any olive oil. Some of them have benefits, but if you're looking for the best results, it matters a lot which one you pick. The olive oil industry is huge. You can tell by the number of olive oil brands you see on the grocery store shelves. And you can bet they're not all made with the consumer in mind, and many brands may even cut corners one way or another to increase profits. When Dr. Gundry came to this realization, he was appalled. But some olive oils are so powerful, it may only take a few tablespoons a week to see these incredible health benefits. So how can you tell between an olive oil that could be a health booster and which one isn't? In an effort to answer those questions, Dr. Gundry has decided to take a stand and release his personal research and findings. This video has gone viral since its release, and it's important you see it now to start benefiting immediately. Go to getolive1.com/Nino. Getolive1.com/Nino. Wow. Whew. I have friends that are auctioneers. I should take some pointers from them when I read my commercials because I can tell a lot of my audience is like, fuck this guy. All right, let's get going. All right. Mayor Eric Adams, folks. Mayor Eric Adams says he will run for re-election as what? An independent. So he's leaving the Democratic Party. I called that a long time ago, didn't I? Didn't I say he's starting to play ball? He can't make it too obvious. He can't run as a Republican. But, I think he got sat down and kind of got the tone set to him, if you know what I mean. I think the tone was set. And they said, Eric, you like these Diddy charges? I don't think you do you? Why don't you play ball? That's what I think. That's my opinion. That's just my opinion. New York City, Eric Adams is ditching the Democratic Party as he seeks to a second term. Adams, who was a Republican before he became a Democrat, formally announced his mayoral re-election campaign in a video Thursday, saying he plans to run as an independent. So, though I am still a Democrat, I am announcing that I will forego the Democratic primary for mayor and appeal directly to all New Yorkers as an independent candidate in the general election, Adams said in the video. I don't know. I don't know what you all think. I know what I think. And here's what I think. That's what I think. That's what I think about Mayor Eric Adams, okay? That's really what I think. That's what I think about all of them, okay? And that's why I read the news the way I do, because I don't care. All right. Accusations of trafficking, folks, hitting Jean-Claude Van Damme. This is what I'm talking about, man. So here's where I'm going with this, and I really want the call-ins at the end of the show. Prove me wrong. Prove me wrong. So, look, there's an old saying. Why do men get prostitutes? They don't pay them for the sex. They pay them to leave. They're paying them to leave. We're not big on snuggling. Anyway, Hollywood star Jean-Claude Van Damme faces allegations of human trafficking and child exploitation. Child exploitation. Like, wait a minute, what are you talking about here, right? So I had to really read this. Investigations in Romania have filed a criminal complaint accusing him of knowingly engaging in 𝗧𝗵𝗶𝗶𝗃 with underage girls forced into prostitution. So now here's where I come in on this. Okay, a lot of celebrities, if you don't know this, get prostitutes because you're paying them a contract to leave, and no lawsuits, nothing like that. You don't want anyone coming back at you. And that's why they do that. That's why celebrities do these things. They get prostitutes because there's no strings attached, and it's guaranteed they're not going to come back to them. Until now. Now you're not even safe with a prostitute. So the victims were reportedly introduced to him as models, recruited through a modeling agency. So shouldn't they go after the modeling agency? Just saying. And an NGO before being exploited through psychological coercion. So, okay, if these girls were younger, it's not, how was Jean-Claude Van Damme supposed to know this? He was tricked. He was deceived, right? And now I'm saying in the age range, maybe they were 17, 18, I don't know. But if they're dressing up and looking like they're 25 and not disclosing what the real age is, that's where I have a problem with this. And call in if you agree or disagree. I want to hear your call-ins. I'm just saying men are targets now, and if I think they should take it up with their pimp. CPS authorizes charges against Russell Brand. Here's another one. Here's another man going down. Another man down. Another man down. 𝗬𝗏𝗯𝗀 of the Crown Prosecution Service said, we have today authorized the Metropolitan Police to charge Russell Brand with a number of sexual offenses. We carefully reviewed the evidence after a police investigation into allegations made following the broadcast of a Channel 4 documentary in September 2023. Hold on. Following the broadcast of a Channel 4 documentary in September of 2023, that's why they're pushing charges on him, putting charges on Russell Brand, is because of a broadcast, a documentary. That's what gave him the lead. We have concluded that Russell Brand should be charged with offenses including sexual assault and indecent assault. These relate to reported non-recent offenses between 1999 and 2005. 1999 and 2005. Involving 4 women. He will appear at Westminster Magistrates Court for a first hearing on Friday, the 2nd of May, 2025. The Crown Prosecution Service reminds everyone that criminal proceedings are active and the defendant has the right to a fair trial. Fair trial. So, did they make a police report? Did they call the police during the time of this happening? Were they too scared? I don't know, folks. All I'm saying, I'm not saying it's not real. It couldn't really happen. I'm not saying he's innocent or guilty. I'm just saying it's just 20-something years later. That's all I'm saying. They better have the receipts. And if they don't have the receipts, he should be able to file charges on them and they should go to jail. That's where I'm standing with this. You gotta, otherwise, all your sons, all your grandsons, they're targets for women that, I don't know, maybe feel regretful for sleeping with your son or grandson. Oh, he was pushed on me. He pushed himself on me, Betty. I didn't want to. Ooh, I regret it. I don't know. I'm just saying it opens up a whole can of worms here. I'm not saying I'm taking the side of men only. I understand there's two sides to this. I'm just saying you can't just throw allegations and accusations out there. You better have the receipts and good ones. This is scary. A lot of powerful men out there, 20 years later, like, I don't even remember this girl. We were both drunk. I don't know. Just saying. Russell Brand. Some Oxfordshire is charged with 2 counts of indecent assault and 2 counts of sexual assault. 𝗬𝗏𝗯𝗀, I think that's how your name, 𝗬𝗃𝗓, they have to put it in here, 𝗬𝗃𝗓, is the chief crown prosecutor for London North. Victims of sexual offenses are automatically entitled to lifelong anonymity in the press or any other publication. Do you all see how dangerous this is? This means that it's against the law for the media or anyone else to publish victims' names or anything which identifies them as having been the victim of sexual offense. This includes sharing names on social media. So do you understand how the deep state can take this and run with it? Let's say this guy doesn't even know who it is that's going after him. This is crazy. I don't know. I just see it as like, run for cover, guys. Don't ever date a girl again. I don't know what we're going to do. I don't know what you're all going to do. I sit my happy ass at home now. My days of playing the field are over. Or are they? Oh, man. It's scary times. World War III news and World War III news, and then we're going to take the super chats, and I'm going to get into the phone calls. French and UK Army chiefs to arrive this weekend. The chiefs of the French and British armies will arrive in Ukraine this weekend to engage with the Ukraine military on the issue of the deployment of forces. This was stated by French Foreign Minister 𝗬𝗵𝗶𝗹, I guess it's 𝗬𝗵𝗶𝗹, head of the NATO Defense Ministerial in Brussels, and Ukraine Foreign Correspondent reports. Look at Zelensky and this guy. Look how Zelensky's happy. He got his war, huh? You got your war, little guy. Now go put on some high heels and dance. In the face of new global disorder that is gaining momentum, the members of our alliance must demonstrate unwavering solidarity more than ever. Solidarity, first of all, because today the only obstacle to peace is Russia. Well, I thought Russia wanted to come to the table for a peace deal. I thought they were the only one that didn't come was the high heel dancing man. Army planners are weighing force reductions of up to 90,000 active duty soldiers. So the Army is quietly considering a sweeping reduction. Oh, hey, that's a lot better than the draft, right, folks? A sweeping reduction of up to 90,000 active duty troops, a move that underscores mounting fiscal pressures at the Pentagon and a broader shift in military strategy away from Europe and counterterrorism, according to 3 defense officials familiar with the deliberations. Look at this. Reductions of up to 90,000 active duty soldiers, folks. That's huge. That's absolutely enormous. And what would we have got with Kamala and Biden? The draft. Oh yeah, the draft. We're cutting military with Trump, and we would have got a draft with Biden and Kamala. You better bet your ass on that. All right, Alex, let's take some super chats. Let's get through the super chats. All right, Jeff B. David, market sell due to tariffs? No. EO 13848. Assets being removed by the Treasury. Yo, good point. Good point there, Jeff. Yeah, I'll take note of that. Love it. See, you all help me help you. I love all of you. All of you help me. Help my broadcast. We all do this together. We're all part of the Black Sheep family, although I'm wearing a buffalo on my hat right now, an American buffalo. American buffalo. Samaj. In regards to gene decode interview, the I in Chimera is pronounced just like the I. I don't know. Okay. I bike it's a hybrid essentially, and they've mentioned it in movies like Mission Impossible. Okay, so you're saying the gene decode interview, the I in Chimera. Oh, Chimera. What was I saying? Chimera?
Chimera, I think Chimera is how you say it.
Is it Chimera?
Yeah.
Hey, yo, all right. Chimera is pronounced just like the I in bike. It's a hybrid essentially, and they've mentioned it in movies like Mission Impossible. Really? So do you think gene decode's getting his stuff from Mission Impossible?
Hey, they do these hybridized genetic testing programs, and that's kind of what they refer to these creatures like.
I've seen them on trail cams, dude. I've seen them, and it's not AI. I've seen them, and also you know who has good stuff is Steve from How to Hunt. That guy has great footage on stuff. He just sent me a Sasquatch video. All right, let's get to the next one. Karen Armstrong, thank you so much. Thank you, Karen Armstrong. Benny K, hey Nino, I'd love to chat more about your guest the other day about Christ coming back already. I could offer a semi-expert perspective. He doesn't want to do any roundtables. I offered him. Bo Pony wants to do a roundtable. I asked Amanda Grace. Paul Stobbs does not want to do a roundtable, so I don't know. All right, next question. Michelle Christians, what power would you have if you were a superhero? I already thought about this. Transportation. Like if I could just transport with thought, like okay, I want to go back to 1800, or I want to go back to when Jesus was crucified, and I could just transport anywhere or any dimension. That would be my superhero power. What was in the envelopes at the Bush funeral? Different for each. I heard it said Arlington base is closed, meaning they were all going to go underground to an Arlington base and say that Trump is threatening with nuclear war and America needs to go on lockdown. Sound familiar? So that's what was told to me. Arlington base is closed. I don't know if it's real. I don't know if it's true. I've heard from two different sources. That was it. One of my guests, you know very well who he is. Denise Cervantes, super sticker. Thank you so much. You guys, I know you guys, I know what you're all thinking. Like, hey, sometimes you don't read too good, But let me tell you, the fact that I can even formulate a sentence after a 30-year-long boxing career, 30-something years I was in the ring. Thousands upon thousands upon thousands of trauma and hits to the head. And I didn't get knocked out to the very end of my career. Haven't heard from Los Angeles in a while. I know you're busy, and thank you for all the hard work. I'll get her up again. I'll reach out to her. I've just been really busy, especially with my parents. That stuff has just been brutal. All right, next one. Fickle Rickle, thank you so much. Vanessa Sanchez, I've seen Juan on another cast. Why does he hide on your show? I don't know. I can't answer those questions. I have no idea. I'd have never seen him show his face on anything. Maybe he showed it by accident, but he takes pictures with people. I don't know. It's just, I don't know. All right, next question. Truth Seeker, thank you so much. Truth Seek. RBB, can we ask Juan if the financial fallout by the BHs will be as bad as thought now that Trump is president versus if he had not made it in? It is happening on his watch now. So how does he handle the bankruptcy, or has he? I know I'm going to be talking to Juan today. I'll ask him that question today. We'll be talking about the Black Swan type of event today. Donnie Dugas. We need to build condos. They're called insane asylum condos. They are called insane asylum. Keep up the great fight. Love you. Keep up the great fight. Thank you so much. Somewhere in time. I appreciate you, champ. Love the smiles. Love you back. Missionaries of our Mother of the Eucharist. A prophecy from a Catholic visionary allegedly says that the Lord told her that Trump would be betrayed by someone he highly trusts and that many people will be majorly shaken by it. I don't know. Elon Musk? That's where my mind goes. I don't know. Oh, man, that's... So a prophecy from a Catholic visionary said that, right? I'll file that back. If you think about it, the only one that could succeed and who's suffering right now is Elon. Elon's taking hits on Tesla. The EU is suing him. So yeah, that in my mind, that'd be the person to go against Trump, right? I don't know. Next one. Bonnie Blackwood at grooming and rampant in UK. We love you, Nino and Alex. It's safe in Mena, Arkansas. Thank you. What do you think about Argentina declass of living in Argentina? I always knew this. I was told this a long time ago, and that's just the tip of the iceberg. You got to look into Antarctica. That's where it's all at, folks. There's a reason why he was in Argentina. Quick route to Antarctica is where it's all at. All roads lead there. All right, next question. Don't sleep with a prostitute, and you have nothing to worry about. Tell Sancho that. Find a committed relationship, or find Rosie Palmer in your black book. Rosie and her 5 sisters? All right, so next question. Is that it? All right, so.
Yeah.
Okay. Anti-MAGA hat goes global. The recent visit by Vice President J.D. Vance and his wife, 𝗬𝗂𝗂, and the National Secretary Advisor Michael Waltz to the U.S. military base in Greenland may have been met with a cold shoulder, but it did produce at least one hot item. The week before the Vance's arrival, 𝗵𝗶𝗱 𝗀𝗂𝗄𝗓, a consultant at KNI, a trading conglomerate in Greenland, posted a photo on its Facebook page of what looked like a bright red MAGA hat, only instead of the usual Make America Great Again in white letters, the hat read, Make America Go Away. Yeah. They don't like that we're sticking up for ourselves now. We're putting our fucking foot down, do they? It touched a nerve, and not just locally. The hats ended up on The Daily Show. Of course it did. And The View, all the cackling hyenas on The View. Across social media, and general reaction was, I want one. Tina Brown compared. So they're going to start this movement. You better bet your ass. You're going to see liberals wearing red hats that say, what does it say? Make America Go Away. That's all. There it is. Make America Go Away. Look at that. Yep, you're going to be seeing those all over the place. Rapper Travis Scott arrested in Miami. Travis Scott has been arrested in Miami on suspicion of disorderly intoxication. Sancho has been arrested for disorderly intoxication many times. That's why I quit drinking. I was quite a character. And trespassing over an argument on a boat. I even threw a police officer into a windshield one time, and I went to jail for a while. An American rapper was detained by police at Miami Beach Marina and around 1:45 local time on Thursday, according to official records. An arrest report from Miami Beach Police Department seen by BBC Newsbeat says officers were called to reports of people fighting on a yacht. Not your ideal thought of like what a yacht would be like. Have I been on a yacht? I've actually been on a yacht. Yeah, I've been on a yacht. I've also been shipwrecked. That's I've told that story before. The 33-year-old was detained under his real name, 𝗪𝗔𝗵𝗶𝗹, according to the Miami-Dade County Corrections Department's website. All right, and what the fuck news, and then I'm getting the calls. We're getting the calls right after this. I see some callers in the back there. I see just two. One's throwing me a peace sign or a finger. I don't know what I just saw there. All right. In what the fuck news, Kanye West posts track list for new album illustrated with swastikas featuring two Hitler songs titled Free Diddy and Cosby. He offered a track list for a new album that might be called Bully, which may or may not exist. The new track list is adorned, God, what's wrong with this guy, man? With swastikas. The songs are called World War III, Cosby, Free Diddy, Dirty Magazines, Bianca, Virgil Let Me Down, Heil Hitler is one of the songs, folks. Oh, my God. Oh, man. Tell me this guy's not a paid agitator. Tell me this guy is not a paid agitator. I'm telling you, he's hitting the hornet's nest, and he's trying to create a movement behind him. Who better and bigger to do that besides Kanye? I'm telling you, that's what you got to think outside the box here, folks. He's got his handlers. They're telling him what to do. Get out there and hit the hornet's nest. Yes. Heil Hitler. Yes. Make that one of your songs. That's what he's doing. That's all he's doing. There's a rumor. So Bianca could be about his wife. Bianca 𝗬𝗫, is that her name? Who said in another post that she left him. There's a rumor she's trying to get a divorce after being paraded around naked for about a year. Oh, so he was abusing her. So she should come back. Of course, she's going to come back to him and sue him for all his money. Jared refers to Donald Trump's nephew who made billions during the first administration and is now missing from the White House. The Virgil in Virgil would be Virgil Abloh, the designer who died in 2021 at the age of 41 from a rare cancer. Recently, West has been ranting on social media that before his death, Abloh abandoned him over the rapper's spewing of anti-Semitic comments. So, I don't know. I look at, I'm going to tell you this right now. I'm not for that. I don't think any group should be hated. Man. I have friends in all creeds and race. They're shitheads and everything. in every race. All right, so we're going to take on the callers. How many callers we got, Alex?
We've got a few in the waiting. We've got like 5 or 6 back here. So
all right, all I ask before you guys get on, please make it so fast because we got to get to the next callers. Please don't come up here and tell your life story. Make it fast. Tell the question. Give me your remark, and that's it. Let's go.
Yeah, we're gonna
and don't use any words that could bomb the channel. But you'll go back and edit it, right, Alex?
Yeah, I can edit it. And guys, yeah, I'm gonna cut I gotta cut the audio if it goes on too long. So let's just kind of keep it going.
Alex, I'm giving Alex permission right now to be the referee. You come in, if they go too long, we'll just boot them. I mean, try to keep it under 25 seconds, 20 seconds. All right, let's go.
All
right. Ding, ding, ding. Hey, yo, what's going on? Who's this? This is Randy. What's up, Randy? Oh, I like your hat. By the way, I have the same hat.
Right. That's what I thought when I seen you wearing it a couple of years ago, man. Listening to you from the beginning, I got the jitters from being on here the first time, but I normally listen to you while I'm welding, dude. I love you. You're my favorite show, brother. You've been spot on 90% of the time, 95% of the time. It's just the waiting shit that's irritating.
I know.
You know.
Oh, you mean that I make people wait?
No. Like everything going on, man. And, you know,
by the way, I want to tell you something about that hat, why I don't wear it anymore.
Why?
A lot of gay dudes were hitting on me. So they think it's like subliminal. Not kidding, dude. I was like, everyone, I'm not even kidding. So you might think twice about wearing that hat. I stopped wearing it.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I'll catch you again. I don't want to hold you up, but I love your show. Keep it up, man.
Thank you.
Nice to meet you, buddy. And hello to everybody out there. Have a good day.
You. All right, my man. Thank you. All right, who's next? Haley Beckler, how are you?
Good.
I've had you on before.
Yeah.
All right. So, what do you got to say about what I said earlier about the allegations, accusations that women? I think if they don't hold up, they better be willing and ready to suffer the consequences and be prosecuted against.
I think that's totally fair. If
really?
Because
I thought I'd have a lot of women disagreeing with me, to be quite honest.
Well, see, the thing is, I know women who have actually been through that situation, and these kind of women that are doing this right now actually really piss me off because it's making it that much harder for women who have actually suffered these type of attacks have been
real attacks, really been attacked. I agree with you.
You know, domestic abuse, that whole thing. It's going to make it that much harder for women who are actually going through those things to.
Right. It's also kind of like the boy that screams wolf or cried wolf. It's like now it's coming out so often that people are just kind of turning a blind eye to it or a deaf ear to it, right?
Yeah. So these women, they actually really piss me off.
Yeah, they piss me off too. I've had friends that have been brought down by that stuff, and obviously, and it was just what they said. They didn't even really have any big receipts. It was just all accusations, and they get a divorce. Their family gets ruined. Their kids don't talk to them anymore. I mean, the ramifications for this it goes on their whole life, their entire lifetime. Even I had a buddy that his girlfriend, and this is another just an example. His girlfriend was hitting him, and he pushed her off her. He pushed her off him. He called the cops saying, "Hey, she's hitting me. She's pushing me." The cops came to her side, took him to jail.
Yeah.
All right, next caller. All right, baby. Got to go on to the next one. All right, sweetheart. Keith, what's going on, my man?
I got a quick question for you. So Europe to Ukraine, possibly the U.S. to Iran, which is basically the world against Putin. Right. Trump, big Trumper the whole way. I like everything he's doing, but what worries me is about the Jays and the Mossad. I don't know what I can say, but
I know.
It looks like Lutnick's one of them, and might be Trump's handler.
I agree with you. I think at the very top, and a lot of people are going to be very this is going to be controversial for me to say, but I'm watching the whole game, bro. I'm seeing the whole game. I'm looking at that too. Every powerful man has someone he has to do business with and answer to. You know, what's happening in Gaza right now to me is very, very disturbing, to say the least.
It's total genocide.
Yeah, 100%. And you can't even look at the people you're not allowed to criticize, right? We're not allowed to criticize them on here.
And then
so
Trump's
that tells you
going
everything.
colleges against Palestine and all that, and then
but if you look at Albert Pike, Albert Pike, he said he mapped out these, and I look back on that, and I think there's a lot of credibility into the letters that he wrote. And the Third World War was to be fought the way it's rolling out right now. Exactly. I mean, exactly, dude, to the T, the way it's rolling out right now.
So I'd like who's behind everything is what Mike King talks about. So if you could have him on again, I'd appreciate it.
Yeah, I'll have him on again.
And what worries me too is I saw Dustin Nemos maybe a year or two ago talking about Trump, and I thought he was fucking crazy. But I think he might be dead on, and I'm worried, dude.
So I am worried too. I talked to Juan about this, and he goes, "Hey, deep breaths, stay calm. It's just, we're saving that for last." And they've always said they're going to save that for last. Now, I'll ask Juan.
Is it for last? Because then after everything's over, they're in fucking control,
right? And then, we just put 17%. We just put 17% tariffs on Israel. You know, that to me was a good.
I understand that, but they control the banking cartel and the Rothschilds, the whole deal. And we're not ending the Fed. How's the operation over? And we're not ending the Fed. And then 20% of our money should be coming back to us. Should be 40%. 20% of it's going to the Fed. What's going on?
I agree with you. We're inching away from the IRS, going to the ERS. This is going to happen. From what I've been told, this is happening in phases.
I'm just worried that in the end, it's two sides.
Dude, I'm with you on this. I'm not debating you on this at all. Believe me. If you know my program, if you know my platform, what do? I put people up there to either air themselves out, expose themselves, or come clean.
I've been with you since I was watching Mel K, and you were a guest on Mel K 5 years ago, and then I've been watching you since. Nino's Corner, the whole deal. I'd be on that whatever it's called, where you can phone the Zoom calls with your guests. I can't afford it, or I'd be there, bro.
Well,
but I appreciate all you're doing.
Write an email to Alex. Alex, take this guy's email. Maybe you can. We'll talk to you later.
All right.
Give me your email in the chat here. Write your email in the chat.
Is it private chat?
Yeah, there's a private chat right here in StreamYard.
Hey, thank you guys. I appreciate you.
You got it, buddy. Later, Keith. All right, next caller, Diana Prince.
Hey, I was just thinking the whole business with brand. You know how we were told that we were going to have patriots that were going to be coming out that weren't part of the movement, that were like artificially planted just to get us on board with them, and then
I think
pull the wool out from under us. I'm also wondering if there's another possibility. What if they honeypotted him back then, and the whole point is that he's being extorted this entire time, and you're asking for receipts? They're going to have receipts if he's been honeypotted. So how do you prove this? Either
Russell Brand.
I mean, if you've got him in a situation, like I just looked up his list of former girlfriends just to refresh my memory, because one of them was part of that whole group. I want to say it was the Rothschild connection or something like that. But basically, if you've got someone who early on likes to party, do drugs and whatnot, and they got pulled into that, and with all of the girlfriends he's had, like Kate Moss is one of them. He could have been pulled into that, tricked, and they've got the receipts. So what I would want to know is if you're a good guy and you just, like you went to the Playboy Mansion, they probably got receipts on your butt. To me, it's like, how do you even, it's like, how do the guys combat it? And then you've got the girls that are legitimately pulled into this. What if a trafficked girl was part of this? How would she protect herself?
They send those girls to the Playboy Mansion. Who do you think the girls at the Playboy Mansion walk around with no clothes on, just paint? They just have paint on their bodies. That's it. The paint that looks like clothes, and they're all ex-strippers or strippers or whatever. And I mean, you just can't believe how phenomenal these girls look. But I stayed there for 3 days. I don't know. I guess anything could be on me.
I
don't
mean,
know.
you know,
Well, I mean,
that was
yeah,
back
you're
when
right.
you were
I mean,
drinking. Someone could have a camera on you and
Yeah,
sitting there waiting to take your tail down.
yeah.
So,
Well,
anyways, I just figured you wanted a counterpoint. That's a counterpoint.
well, I mean, honestly, I also know that one of okay, so I know one of the guys in the boy bands. I'm not going to say what boy band, but he got honeypotted at the Playboy Mansion, and I know the guy that filmed him, and he got extorted for like $100,000. And he was being threatened to be, and a big singer in one of the boy bands. I'm not going to say who, but I was hanging out with him for a while in Hollywood, and a very famous guy, and a guy I just happened to know was the one that was blackmailing him. Just a dude I knew from my hometown that recorded him in the Playboy Mansion, and the guy was like married and stuff like that. So it's like, it was ugly. It was really ugly, but Sancho can do the rescue. So, all right, let's get to the next caller. Benny.
Nino, what's going on?
How's it going, Benny? What's
Good,
your question?
Hey, so listen, just on a lighter note, I've been watching your show for a couple of years now, and so I know you've kind of been doing this journey, coming to the Lord and reading the Bible and stuff. So my question is this, man. So what do you do for your like daily devotions and reading the Bible? Like, kind of what's your day look like?
That's not much. I'll be honest. I've been trying to go to Bible study every Thursday. I've missed the last 2 Thursdays. It's just, juggling my parents, the elderly, like they're both in wheelchairs now. They're both on a fast decline, and I get calls every day. Like, get up there. But I mean, I could get a call right now, and I'd have to end the broadcast and run up there. My dad fell. My mom fell in the bathtub. I mean, they're in a wheelchair. They have nurses around them full time. So I'm running on pure adrenaline right now, and that's still no excuse. I should probably get closer to the Lord, but I pray every day. I'm in constant connection with God. All day long, I'm saying prayers to God all day long. Like every second, I'm just, God, Lord, help me, please, man, Lord, please. And I talk to God, and I have a relationship with God. I feel it in my heart. I feel it in my soul. I don't feel there's any bigger way to show your love for the Lord or your trust in God is when you get in the ring. And I make the sign of the cross to show the audience, the whole arena, this is who I serve. And I get in the ring and I put my life on the line and fight some knuckle dragger that wants to kill me, that's just as skilled as me. And I get in there and fight that guy to the death. And I make the sign of the cross, showing the world, showing the audience, this is who I represent. To me, that was big.
Yeah, that's big, man. And we all of us got stories, and all of us got history and things that we've been through, and it's an amazing thing to see, how God can change people's lives. And what angers me sometimes too is when you see celebrities, they come to faith, and then they sort of make a mockery of the true work of Christ that can happen. And so people like Kanye.
Look what Kanye did. Yeah, look what Kanye did. I mean, look what he's doing now.
And to me, it grieves the spirit, because it's like you know that the spirit can do true and real things in real people, but it's just one of those things that as someone who studies the Bible and goes through it. I'm actually having a debate next week about dispensationalism and stuff like that about the Bible. I've been writing in on a chat. I saw your broadcast with Paul the other day talking about Jesus coming back, and one of the things I wanted to kind of talk to you about was like, look, there's some credibility to that. I mean, I think some things he can go off. Some things that I think there's worth there, and someone who's seminary student, throughout church history, there is some truth to what he's saying. And the funny thing is that in the 1800s, something different happened in American Christian theology that completely altered the course of how the church is supposed to act in the world.
Do you agree with Paul Stobbs?
Not entirely. I think he's on track, and I think from just an exegetical biblical perspective, he's thinking the right things. Now, I think to make certain assertions, when it comes into like Tartaria, things like that, that's where you get lost a little bit in the sauce. And so I think I'm sure many people in your audience that are true Christians,
it's still a stone we should overturn and look under and explore.
Correct.
Because You're right, the 1800s, what the hell happened? It's like all of a sudden we're like in the Stone Ages, horse and buggy. It's just, to me, it doesn't make sense. And after they built these elaborate, unbelievable architectural megaliths of cathedrals, I mean, it makes no sense to me. Like, how do you go from that to horse and buggy? How do you build these cathedrals that would, even to today, we cannot do that. And then,
well, even throughout church history, I mean, you see that there's been incredible buildings, even back at the Roman period, where they're just building these huge coliseums and buildings, that are still around today in many cases. And you do see the change in the 18th century going from, these really intricate buildings to completely, like, I mean, most churches today it's in a warehouse, you know what I mean? Most of the churches
exactly.
back, most of the churches about 300-400 years ago were in these intricate buildings, which were in a lot of ways an honor and a respect and a glory to God to show what his people
All right, well,
do.
Benny, I got to
I'll
jump
let
on
you
to
go,
the next
man.
caller. All right, love you,
Take
brother.
it easy, brother.
Thank you, Benny. Tim.
Yeah, hi, Nino.
Hey, Tim.
Been following you right from the beginning. So I got a
you.
question. I know you can't answer for one, but I live on the I-84 corridor, and I see these jets spraying the skies. They call it cloud seeding.
I know.
I call them chemtrails.
I see it
so
here
one
all the time. I
called
see it here
something
too.
about. Can I talk about this? Is it okay?
Just be very vague. You're talking about the planes in the sky.
It was for to keep us safe from an attack.
Right.
Do you follow me when he was down there?
At what cost though? We're killing every insect. We're killing all of nature.
We don't have no bees or grasshoppers.
No, I mean every day I see a start in the morning, and I'll see the planes flying in the morning, and by the midday there's a gray, gloomy haze over the entire city, and people are getting. You wonder why you're going to the doctor all the time. There you go.
I get congested, headaches.
Yeah.
We have quail that fly all over the place here, and I see them dead on the ground.
Yeah, I see that. It's happening, man. It's real. I remember I used to drive.
It's real, huh?
I've
been writing RFK, and I even wrote Trump on.
Dude, it's huge.
Social,
it's the real thing. I mean, I used to drive, an 8-hour drive, and my windshield would be cluttered with insects.
Yeah.
Now, not one insect. Maybe one. One insect hits my windshield. But thank you, Tim.
Is it for our defense, or is it more?
That's what I've been told. But defense, the repercussions are worse. The ramifications are worse. The cost of this, the risk versus the reward. I mean, we're killing everything. No, I don't think it's worth it, man.
Okay.
I think there needs to be found another. Yeah, he's told me the same thing, but I don't agree with it, in my opinion.
All right. Thank you for your.
You got it, Tim. You got it. Tonya. All right, Tanya.
Hey, Tanya. It's Tanya. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, sorry about that. I have a couple of. I'll try to keep it vague because some of my stuff might be.
Okay, yeah, real big. Go ahead.
Okay, I live over in the Midwest, over here in Indiana, Ohio state line, and we had a bunch of egg shortage and stuff like that. I was wondering if you're talking to Juan, find out when all this swabbing nonsense is going to be going away, because they're still doing that. They're still swabbing daily.
Really?
Turning it in. Yes. Yeah.
Wow.
My brother-in-law owns a chicken farm, and they're still doing that daily. And there's a couple of mega $1 million farms right there, and all of their chickens are gone, buried, burned. And so I mean, they're still doing it. And I know that some of them had done their own independent swabs and sent them to different labs, and all of them were negative. But the ones that are taking them to the people, they were positive.
Wow.
So I think some of them might be suing the state of Ohio. So that's still going on. I didn't know if you could ask about
this is a big war, man. I mean, there's multiple chess games being played here, man. I mean, you can't. There's multiple battlefronts that are being fought. This is not just a one remedy handles it all. This is
no. Yeah, and it's messing with their livelihoods because insurance will not cover this. So when they lose this, they lose. Everything. That's their business.
Right.
That's their bread and butter.
What's the next question?
So, the next question is there anything that you could ask Juan about? Because we just went by a local mall and all that kind of stuff, and we have hundreds, borderline thousands of cherry pickers from all over the country in the middle of this mall parking lot, this plaza parking lot, a movie theater parking lot, all kinds of stuff like that. We had a storm last week, but no power outages or anything like that. But yet we have all these cherry pickers, hundreds and hundreds.
Wow.
Yes. So, and also
I'll
I
ask
was
him. Yeah,
wanted to
you know,
mention,
he's going to be the general in the general's tent this month, the 22nd. So
I know I
I'll
always work in
also,
the evenings. It's hard to get on. But
well,
other
I'll
thing is,
also air it. I'll also air it on ninoscorner.tv.
okay, yeah, I usually can watch it there, the rerun, the repeat. But when you first interviewed Victor Avila, your very first interview with him on Nino's Corner, I was watching that, and then I was driving down the road, and he mentioned, because you were talking about people being brought here from other places, and he mentioned my town by name. I was like, whoa,
Really?
little podunk, less than 6,000 people.
What's
And
your
he said,
town?
oh yes, Portland,
You want to say?
Indiana.
Really?
Yeah,
I remember that.
he goes, that's a
Yeah.
hotbed. And I remember
Yeah.
him saying that. It is. Yeah. So I
Gosh.
just thought I'd say
All
that.
right.
But I just want to say, here's a couple questions I wouldn't mind for you to
You
get a
got it.
response from him.
You got it. Thank you so much, Sonia. All right, Jenny Shu, how are you?
Hey, how are you?
Good. How are you?
I have literally, I can't believe this. I have rocked this baby lamb to sleep. Can you see her?
Oh, is that the black sheep right there?
Yeah. And this
Holy,
is
you have an actual black sheep on your lap.
I do. Looky here. I've rocked her to sleep. Do you see her?
Oh my gosh, that's like the mascot.
That's what she wants. She told me she wants to be the mascot.
That is so cool, man. I almost want to buy her off you, man.
Oh,
so
listen,
cool.
I tell you what, I wish you lived closer. Let me show you something real quick. You see the chickens?
Yeah. It's a big
Okay,
picture.
I don't care for fertilized eggs, and we provide so many eggs to people. I wish I could ship you some eggs, because I mean we have more eggs than we have sense.
Wow. Yeah, but won't they? I mean, that's like a.
But this is
I guess
little
I can give you my
Cleo.
address to do that. What's that?
This is little Cleo.
Wow,
And
little
this is
Cleo, the black sheep.
This is her husband to be. He's a bottle baby. I have to feed him.
Oh my gosh, so you got like a farm.
I do. I wish you guys could visit. So bad. I'd love it. I've even got an look. I'm sitting here in our RV pavilion.
You know what? I don't think I've ever not in person or ever I've seen black sheep in pictures, but I've never seen one like in video like this. That's so cool to see.
I've tried to email you and send you videos, but it won't take videos. But listen, I am going to have a picture framed for you.
Thank you.
Her name is Cleo.
People are gonna think it's weird if I have a picture of a sheep on my desk.
She's trying to find her mama. Do you hear her and see her right now?
Yeah.
Okay. Hey, stop. Here's my
So you're gonna send me a framed picture. Wow, look at that thing. Wow.
I'm gonna send you a picture. I'm gonna send you several, okay? Because I've got some really cool stuff. Hey,
I just think it'll be weird if I have a framed picture of a sheep in my house. People are gonna think I'm weird.
No, they wouldn't. No, I mean, we're the black sheep family. Okay, I don't know if you can see from the distance. That's her mom and daddy.
Oh wow, yeah.
You see them?
So cool. Yeah, there it is.
Okay, so last year they're usually born like in January and February, and it's a doctor here in town who's actually a cool doctor, if you know what I mean, like an awake doctor. But he raises these sheep. So these two were bottle babies. I kept them in a dang dog crate in my house and bottle fed them for like 4 weeks.
Well, send me the pictures. I got to get to the next caller, sweetheart.
I will.
All right, sweetheart.
I will, but David,
I'll see you at the general's tent. I know you're on the general's tent.
Okay, honey.
All right, bye. All right. Viv.
Hi.
Hey, Viv.
How's it going? Okay, so I have a few, well, not really questions. I have this big concern with, see, I'm here in Toronto, Canada, and yes, and I am super politically neutral, in quotes, because it's just safer that way. It's really unfortunate that I have family members that I have a cousin who's like super brainwashed, and the media here in Toronto, like we had our original Trump 47 about 10, 15 years ago, Rob Ford, Doug Ford's brother. He passed away.
Right.
And so, and I never paid attention to politics or anything until, because he was the mayor of my city. And so I needed help for an apartment and all that stuff. Anyway, so I was paying attention to the amount of lies that they were saying on the news. And then that's when I learned that, oh my goodness, it's like all the media, CBC is like CNN, and they basically,
they're all in
the same
with
thing
each
as
other.
what's exactly, and they all support Castro Jr. And they just cover everything, and even YouTube, they don't Fluff too, I suck at this. Anyway, they don't even let you put like facts in texting, because Rebel News, for example, they've tried to say about how what's really going on with the tariffs, that it was the condition if you
so do you Viv, I need a question. You got a question for me, sweetheart?
Well, I was just going to tell you about
oh, I didn't mean to. Did I hurt your feelings? Sorry.
I'm thick-skinned.
Okay.
I was just letting you know about how really bad it is as far as like in Toronto.
No, Canada. I have no desire. I have no desire to even go there anymore. But I'm going to tell you
that's
this.
What I'm saying.
It's going to get so bad for you guys that you are going to start breaking apart and breaking away. And I'm going to bet you anything, parts of Canada start becoming part of the United States. I see this coming. That's what Trump is aiming for.
I will have you know that I'm actually American born, and so I've been watching.
You can always come back.
No, I've been watching everything that's going on, and I see that it's all lies, and everything that we're seeing is just disgusting. We have it here in Canada; it's just as bad. But the unfortunate thing is that nobody can see the people who support 47.
Right.
They can't see it because they won't let them see it. Yes, exactly. Anyway, thank you for your time. I have to go because
All right. So, Alex.
Nino.
Ooh, I think that was a lot of calls today.
Yeah.
I think we'll stop it there.
Yeah.
Folks, Fridays are a little bit longer shows, right, Alex? I mean, they go a little bit longer. So Mondays are gift card giveaways. We're going to give away 4 gift cards, $25 gift cards. Wednesdays are Patriot Wear Wednesdays, and then I like this. Fridays kind of like the call-in Fridays. If people like this, please put a big thumbs up in the post, in the comments.
And folks, we still need two of the winners from Monday and the Patriot Wear winners to email us ninoscorner.info@gmail.com.
And the ones that won on Patriot Wear, they'll get a coupon, right? They'll get like a number coupon. They can only use once. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah.
So get to Patriot Wear, order some stuff there. You get a 50% off. And then Monday's gift card giveaway Mondays. And folks, with that being said, I'm out of here. I got an interview with Juanito, and I may have an interview with Larry Ballard today. So got to get at it. All right, folks, I'm out of here. And the new heavyweight champion of podcasting, folks, and the black sheep of broadcasting. I'm out. Peace.